Good morning guys, it is a sunny Saturday morning and this is London Loop day 3. Today I'm going to be walking sections 18 and 17 from Chingford all the way to Cockfosters. Now this is going to be one of my favourite ones, should I say, because it's actually walking through Enfield, which is where I live, so I actually know the routes quite well, which is going to make this entire thing a lot easier than, well, you know, doing a normal route that I don't actually know much about. So yeah, let's crack on. We're currently in Epping Forest in Chingford. I just got here by getting a bus. We're going to be walking in that direction and following the path. Let's go. So 2 days ago I did sections 21, 20 and 19. I started off at Harold Wood and ended at Chingford, so I was here 2 days ago, quite late in the evening, finishing the hike. Today I'll be doing section 18 and 17. So section 18 is from Chingford to Enfield Lock, and then section 17 is from Enfield Lock all the way to Cockfosters. Now, I walked this section many a times before while I've been hiking around the Lea Valley, so it'd be nice to do it again. Looking forward to walking along the canal for a little bit actually, because in the last couple of days I've been walking along woodland trails, parks, etc. But today I'm going to be walking a bit of canals, which is one of my favourite things to walk. So yeah, looking forward to that. Now we are at the bottom of Epping Forest and we're going to be heading in that direction that we're there, and we're going to crack on with it really. And just as usual, I'm going to sort of stop at any points that are interesting, talk a bit more about it, film some walking, and then, you know, try not to make this too long because it's going to be the shortest London Loop day I'm doing, because the other two have been quite long, and the one I'm doing on Tuesday is going to be even longer. This is 30k. Today's only 22k. So yeah, let's crack on. Okay, we've left the open plain and we are walking through a woodland. This walk is actually pretty straightforward. In fact, this whole section is pretty straightforward because I am walking alongside the edge of Epping Forest. We're going to walk up to the top, we're going to cross over at Silverstone and then follow the Lea Navigation for a bit to get to Enfield Lock. But it's going to be very scenic. Quite a lovely few places to stop and take breaks. So yeah, completely looking forward to it. Alright, our first London Loop sign of the day. It's always a good sign when I see London Loop signs. In fact, we're actually going to be spending not long in Epping Forest today because it's only a short part of Epping Forest. Then we're going to cross over and go to the other side. But yeah, so far so good. The weather is a bit warmer than the last 2 days, so I did come prepared. Got my shorts on, plenty of water, because last time I did about 26k and I almost ran out of water, so I came prepared today. Hopefully it'll be just fine, but I'm just making the most out of it, enjoying the scenery, taking in the nature, and you know me, I love being in the forest. Let's go. Okay, there's another London Loop sign behind me. This is the part that we need to go up the road and cross over to the other side. Got to be really careful, listen for any vehicles, then carefully cross over. Right now it's absolutely empty, so we're going to go to the other side, and it's walking through another forest, which is amazing. This is really quiet and serene as well. It's quite nice to see a lot of cyclists out there, the usual people that you would run into in the forest, I guess. Definitely want to come back here when I get a mountain bike soon, because currently with my bike, it's a road bike, I'm going to put some gravel tires on it soon. Even then, it would be nice to have a mountain bike for this terrain. So yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to doing within the next 6 months. Mountain bike in the Epping Forest, yes. I've just noticed that there's a golf course right next to me. I'm laughing because in my previous walk I had to walk through a golf course, kind of got lost there as well, but hopefully this time around I don't need to walk through the golf course, I just need to walk around the edge of it and I will be just fine. Oh dear, it's quite funny actually, because when you're doing these walks you're sort of like reminiscing the previous walks and the moments that are very similar, and the only thing you could do is laugh about it really, because there's no point stressing about things like this. I guess this is the fun part of taking a journey. It is finding your way, and then it's not about the destination. Well, in this case it is actually, because I'm completing sections. It's about enjoying the journey and making the most out of it. Now, I do love Epping Forest. Happily spend a whole day here. One thing that I haven't done in a while is a winter hike in Epping Forest. For some reason, every time it snows, I go to Ali Pali and, you know, see some mates there. But next time it snows, I'm definitely coming up to Epping Forest just to sort of explore what it looks like in the snow. So we are going downhill now actually, because we're walking uphill for a little bit. Epping Forest is actually fairly high up now. If you look at Epping Forest topographically, if that's the word I'm using correctly, it actually consists of hills and valleys, and we're walking towards the Lea Valley, so we're going into a valley now. But before we get to that valley, there's a huge hill that we need to cross, which I think is over there somewhere. So yeah, compared to the previous walk, which is quite flat and, you know, little rolling hills, this is actually a few big bits we need to go over and across and then climb down really. So yeah, again, nice change of scenery, good place to relax on a nice warm Saturday afternoon. It's absolutely peaceful out here, so it's nice to actually take a break from busy roads and loud environment, and just you can hear the nature here. So section 18, which is what I'm walking right now from Chingford to Enfield Lock, is about 6.5k long. I started further up Chingford, so it's about 7k for me. Obviously my average speed's about 5.5k an hour, so because it's up and downhill, I'm probably going to be walking 5k, which means I'm going to get this done in just under an hour and a half, which is actually perfect, which means I can take a lovely break in Enfield Lock by the River Lea. We're going downhill now in that direction. So we've just come to the lowest part of this valley, and it's uphill again. There's a very faded London Loop sign, as you can see there. It's a little, some sort of weird wetland marsh area, like a swamp even, and we're heading in that direction, climbing uphill. I feel like I've done this particular walk before, because I remember one time I was walking from Epping Forest to Enfield Lock, not as part of the London Loop but in general. I feel like I'm taking the same route again. Is it that way or that way? Oh wow, what a scenery. Open hills, fields. Okay, we're going to be walking up this hill right now and following the path there. This reminds me a lot of when I was walking the fields in Havering, Aboa. I could never say it. I think I need to ask someone, or you guys can correct me and write it on the comments. Is it Havering or Havering? The sections I walked 2 days ago. But we're going to carry on walking up the hill, because if I stopped and talked every minute, this video is going to be a very long one, and I'm not going to complete this hike anytime soon. So let's go. Slightly out of breath after climbing up that hill. That was a long one, of course, and it was difficult, but we made it to the top. We're heading in that direction. I'm just going to take a break and soak in this lovely scenery. After the hill, I need a quick water break. And if you can look further back, you can see central London over there. But we're not going in that direction, we're going in the opposite direction. Okay, I was walking in the scorching sun for too long, so I was overheating. So what I've done is I've sort of taken a slight diversion and I'm walking on this woodland path. Actually, this is the actual London Loop path. I was just walking on top of the field because I really wanted to see the view. So we are actually back on the path we're meant to be walking in, and we're going to crack on. All right, coming up to a London Loop sign, and it's telling us that we need to go this way. Okay, 3k in, we made it to Gilwell Park Scouts area. Now, I'm very familiar with this area because this is where we bring our school kids to do their Duke of Edinburgh walk every now and then. If you're unaware, I'm also a school teacher. I teach art, and when I'm not teaching or at work, like some holidays, I do my hikes and bike rides and everything else in between. So yeah, Scouts place behind me. I pretty much know the rest of the way here from here to Enfield Lock actually, but I am still going to resort to the GPS every now and then just to make sure I am going in the right direction. Okay, after the Scouts, we were walking on the main road for a bit. We've come off it now. We're back in the Woodland Trail. I had to walk past one of the gates that says you're entering Epping Forest, so we are still in a forest but not in Epping Forest anymore. So yeah, that's that. Ran into a couple of hikers. I guess they are doing the London Loop because they actually had a map in their hand, but they're doing it the actual way, which is clockwise, whereas I am doing it anti-clockwise. Hugely influenced and influenced by and thanks to John Rogers, because I watched his videos and he was doing it anti-clockwise. It seemed like the right thing to do, I guess. Okay, another road we need to cross over. I can hear some vehicles, so I'm going to wait here for a bit, and then when the road is clear we can cross over. Alright, we safely made it to the other side. Okay, we're back on an open field. We are climbing up to another hill again. Below me is the reservoirs down the Lea Valley. We'll be going down in a bit though, but for now I am sticking to the trail, following the London Loop signs, and we're going to carry on walking uphill, I guess. As soon as we climbed uphill, we're going downhill. It's chunky loose gravel, so I have to be very careful and not fall over and hurt myself. So I just had to walk past Stone Park Cemetery. This wasn't here the last time I walked through here because that was about 3 or 4 years ago, before the lockdown. It's quite a beautiful place actually, really lovely to relax. Yeah, just behind me there. Obviously I didn't want to film in there because obviously it's a resting place and you know it's a cemetery, so walked out of it before I gave my update. Now we're literally heading down the Lea Valley now towards Stilton Road, where we're going to cross over and then head to Enfield Lock, I guess. Alright, I am in the middle of the field again. Hey, it seems to be a recurring theme in the London Loop walks. You are walking through a middle of the field. I remember walking this field years ago where I almost got lost and walked the wrong way, but it's a diagonal cut through the field. There is no marked pathways or signs, so you literally walk through the field, I guess. I can hear Silverstone Road, which is right over there, so we are heading in that direction. Okay guys, I'm going to have to speak a bit louder because where I'm standing next to quite loud traffic. We've made it to the other side of the field. Right behind me is Silverstone Road, so we're going to have to go and cross that as carefully as possible because there aren't any crossings as far as I'm aware, so you do need to be incredibly careful when you are crossing this road. roads have opened up. There we go. Okay, we've successfully crossed the road. All right, end of the road, and we are officially joining the Lea Valley now. The Lea Valley Park is huge. I mean, it goes all the way from Hertford to Hackney. Right now, you can see here, we're joining one of the many parts of the Lea Valley Park, which is going to lead us to Enfield Island Village, and where we're going to cross over the River Lea, which is the part that I'm looking forward to because I do love the River Lea. All right, so far section 18 has been beautiful. Lovely paths, signposted quite clearly, was able to get through easily, pathways are nice and cleared actually. Yeah, definitely a good start so far. Alright, looks like we're entering Silverstone Marsh. Is it Silverstone, Silverstone? I never know how to say these names, but yeah, Silverstone Marsh, I guess. There are quite a lot of blackberry bushes over here, and you can actually, you know, forage them if you want to. I've just tried a couple, they are absolutely lovely. One over there, but that doesn't look too ripe, but let's try it. You know what, that one was decent actually. I feel like all the ripe and larger ones are being foraged by people already. I guess I'll find more on the way to Enfield Lock. Now, the thing about the River Lea is you've got the main River Lea, which has been there forever from Viking days. Then you've got the River Lea Navigation that's been sort of built, so the narrowboats and the barges from back in during the Industrial Revolution were able to sort of, you know, sail and take all the cargo from Hertford all the way into London docks. Then you've got all the little flood defence rivers. So when I say River Lea, I'm talking about a mixture of all of it really. Ah, isn't that serene? So that is towards sort of Enfield Lock way, and here, so this is the man-made built River Lea flood defence thing. We're gonna look at the navigation shortly. Okay, we finally made it to Enfield Lock by the River Lea Navigation. I'm only going to be walking along the River Lea for a very, very short period. Then I'm going to be crossing over to head towards Enfield. In fact, Albany Park, which is the park I used to play at when we were in school actually. So yeah, this walk is quite reminiscent of my youth and the areas I used to hang around when I was younger. So we're going to go explore that in a minute. Alright, that was a brief stop at Enfield Lock. You could see the lockkeeper there because there was a few boats that were going downriver. Now we're heading towards Mollison Avenue, which is a busy sort of dual carriageway, which we're going to cross over, and then we're going to be on the other side. Then we'll have to cross over the Enfield Lock train station, rail tracks. Yeah. Now, as I've just reached Enfield Lock, that means I have just completed section 18 of the London Loop. So that is done and dusted. It was about 6.5k, 6.7 actually. Now that I've started section 19, this is going to be a slightly longer one actually. I think it's about 13 or 12k, not too sure. I'm going to quickly have a look in a minute and update you. We are literally walking over Mollison Avenue. Now the next section It's probably going to be the longest section so far in this entire London loop. It's 15k. That's quite a long distance to walk in about 4 hours, I guess. So, I'm normally used to the sections being anywhere between 7 to 9k, 10k max, but I'm surprised to find out that this section is 15, because I was thinking, from Enfield Lock to Cockfosters, that is a bit of a walk, because you're cutting through Enfield, then you're cutting through Fawlty Hall, and then to Trent Park, Oakwood, and then Cockfosters. So yeah, the next section is going to be quite a lengthy one. My goal is to have my lunch break in about 20 minutes time when I get to Albany Park. So yeah, that's the plan. Alright, that is Enfield Lock station in the distance. That way is Brimstown, and we are literally crossing over this, and we're going to be joining Albany Park shortly after. Okay, looks like they've done another control burn around the back end of Albany Park, just to maintain really. Now, I haven't been into Albany Park in years now, so yeah, looking forward to taking my lunch break there. So, I'm looking at the Turkey Brook. Years ago when I was here, it was literally just a bit of a waterway, but they've fully transformed it now, and it runs right through the Albany Park at the moment. It's really lovely. It is a bit dry at the moment due to the drought, but other than that, Enfield Council have done a great job with nicely diverting the Turkey Brook through the back end of Albany Park. Now, it is quite warm out here. I was originally going to take my lunch break here, but then I've decided that I'm going to crack on. So I'm going to carry on walking. I'm going to get to Fawlty Hall Estate and then probably find a nice spot with a lot of shade and take my lunch break there. Let's carry on. Walking the suburban streets of Enfield. We're coming up to Hertford Road, where we need to cross over, head towards Turkey Street station, and then cross over the A10. Alright, now we are walking up to Hertford Road. It's going to get noisy and busy. I'm going to find myself a crossing, cross the road, because we need to get to the other side, and then we can follow the London Loop. Okay, we've come up Turkey Street and we are walking along the path that runs right on the edge of Enfield Crematorium. This will lead us to the A10, where we're going to take a footbridge and cross across, and then we're going to take another public footpath towards the Fawlty Hall Estate. Let's go. Okay guys, we are coming up to the busy A10. We are going to take that footbridge up there, cross over, then we will carry on with our walk on the other side. It is quite a busy road though, so you've got to be really careful. Just crossed over to the other side of the A10. This route is pretty straightforward actually. It's a nice little public footpath that leads to the back end of Fawlty Hall Estate. We're going to then follow that, walking towards Trent Park and then towards Cockfosters. So I feel like I've done about 3 or 4k since Enfield Lock, so still a long way to go. Let's crack on. So I've just crossed over the new river, which runs through Enfield all the way to Hertford and then joins the River Lea at Ware near Amwell. That's a walk that I want to be doing somewhere in the near future, not this summer break though, because I've got plenty of things to do, hopefully in October or something like that though. But yeah, so far so good. We've literally reached the end of this footpath and shortly we're going to cross into 40 Hall Estate. Alright, we've finally arrived at the 40 Hall Estate. Now this is part of one of my local walks that I normally do in Enfield. That's more sort of towards Enfield town, but we're not going that way today. We're going to be going in the opposite direction towards Enfield Chase and then Trent Park. This lake has properly dried out. There's loads of goats behind me actually, and sheep I guess. Yep, there you go, there's a sheep. Okay guys, had a quick look at my route. It looks like I am just over halfway through my hike. So I've done about 11k so far and I've got another 10 and a bit to go. And I am in the lovely 40 Hall Estate woodland area. We're just going to literally follow this along for the next k or two. Then when I find a seat or a nice spot, I'll sit down and have my lunch. Yeah, I'm just going to crack on with it really. And we've just spotted another London Loop sign right over here, so I know for a fact I'm going in the right direction. In fact, I have slowed down my pace a little bit because I feel like while I am walking through this nice relaxing area, I'm going to take it easy and enjoy the scenery, and then when it gets to busy areas I'm just going to increase the pace and just crack on. Okay, so I am locally from Enfield and I walked parts of this area before. The route I'm currently on I've never been before, so it's nice for me to explore a new route in Enfield. I feel like this route just follows the Turkey Brook and goes around the outer rim of the 40 Hall Estate, and it will lead to Clay Hill I suppose, but yeah, we'll find out soon enough. So there is a sign saying New River Old Course. Now I know for a fact, I've read up on this before, the New River used to run through this part of Enfield, then they, you know, rerouted it through the other part now. So I guess it used to run through here a couple of years ago. Right, end of the park, coming up to a main road. We need to cross over and then enter Hilly Fields. Alright, Hilly Fields. I have been to Hilly Fields before, just not in this direction actually. I think I've taken a slightly different direction. Okay, we are currently entering Hilly Fields Park. Okay, here we are at Hilly Fields Park. I feel like this is a great spot for me to stop, take a short lunch break, you know, and then do the last stretch. I feel like I've got about another 8.5k left, which means that's about another, I don't know, 2 hours of walking. So I'm looking for a nice seat, somewhere nice to sit down in the shade. So far all the benches I can see are in the sunshine. Hopefully around the corner there are a few more benches where I can sit down and take a break and have my lunch, I guess. Let's go. Okay, just had a quick lunch break, about 15 minutes to have my sandwiches, get some water in, so I'm good to go. Just looked at my route. Looks like I've actually got another 9k to go, so a bit of a distance to walk. So I'm about 12k in and another 9k to go. So, and it's getting quite hot as well now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack on with covering the distance as quickly as possible, and then I'll do another update when we get to about 5k on where we are. We're still walking in hilly park fields, and then we're going to have to end this, cross over a couple of roads, and then move on to another part of Enfield. Yeah, almost walked into a cricket field with a cricket game going on. Yeah, that happened. Now, again, we're walking through another woodland path. In a minute, we're going to be joining a main road. We're going to be walking on that road for a little bit, then we're going to be turning into a woodland park again. A tree's fallen and is blocking the footpath, so I'm going to have to just climb over the tree. It's not a very big tree. Just need to make sure. Whoa! I have climbed over the tree and then get to the other side. So yeah, that's the tree in question. Enfield, this section's been very interesting. Have to climb over trees, walk into cricket playgrounds, all sorts of madness. Oh dear, quite fun actually. You might not be able to see this, but if you listen carefully, there's a busy traffic sign coming up, and that is the M25, guys, all the way in that distance over there. I can see it. I don't think you might be able to see it. So we are literally at the edge of Greater London. I'm back on this signposted path now, and this is going to lead me about another K up, and then we need to cross over to the other side. There's a railway crossing coming up. I don't know if it's a bridge, underpass, or just a usual normal crossing. So yeah, let's find out shortly. Just come across a couple of lovely horses, lovely quiet horses. I'm going to leave them alone and carry on with my London Loop hike. As I mentioned before, we're just going to go underneath this lovely green railway bridge. This is the Great Northern Line that goes from King's Cross all the way into Hertford North, Stevenage, that line there. I have taken this before from Enfield Chase to get into Stevenage, so yeah, that's the line. We're crossing over that. I believe we're coming up to the Ridgeway now. Okay, we are walking uphill now towards Ridgeway. Then we're going to walk on the Ridgeway for a little bit, then we're going to turn into another public footpath to carry on with our London Loop hike. Okay, we are on the Ridgeway. There's quite loud and heavy traffic, so I'm going to speak a bit louder. We are literally walking past the Royal Chase Hotel. Now, years ago, I think I had a wedding here, or someone had a wedding here, and I stayed over, and it was absolutely gorgeous. On the expensive side as well, so it's just right behind me over there. I was going to cross over, then I realised there is no pavement on the other side, so I'm walking on this side. When I see the opening, I'm going to cross over and then walk through another field again. I feel like there is a little sign coming up to inform us where we need to cross over. It is just behind that tree over there, so that's the plan. Let's head in this direction. Right. Okay guys, we crossed over to the other side. Now I'm walking on, it seems almost like a brand new path here. It's got like brown gravel. I can see that a lot of cyclists have used this path as well because it's got quite a few chunky mountain bike tracks. Yeah, I'm on the last stretch now. Got about 5 and a bit K to go. So the time now is about 4 o'clock. So I should be able to finish it by 5. Yeah, let's crack on. Wow, look at the scenery. Now that we are actually quite uphill now, this path is going to take us downhill. It's a lovely little winding path that cuts through these fields where they're planting new trees. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm surprised that I haven't discovered this part of Enfield yet. It's really, really, really wonderful. So, earlier when I completed section 18, I didn't really get a chance to do a little summary because Enfield Island Village / Albany Park isn't the nicest area in Enfield. There was quite a few dodgy characters standing by the towpath, smoking things they shouldn't be smoking in public, should I say, and I didn't really feel like standing there filming something. So, section 18 was quite lovely. It started off in Epping Forest and Chingford, gone through some of the fields, crossed over to Sewitston in the Lea Valley. Then we picked up again in Sewitston Marsh on the Lea Valley Park, walked past the River Lea, got to Enfield Lock and completed it there. This section, it's the one, section 17, from Enfield Island Village, or Enfield Lock should I say, through, you know, the Turkey Brook, past Turkish Street, 40 Hall Estate. Now we are somewhere in the middle of Enfield, walking through the back part of Enfield, heading towards Trent Park in Oakwood, or should I say Cockfosters. Now, this has to be one of the most quietest and scenic sections of the London Loop. Yes, section 21 in Havering was absolutely quiet, but then I was lost, whereas here I'm actually not lost. Very lovely signs, clearly posted, quite a few displays over here, so you can see how it's been nicely signposted. You can see there are displays here, the wildlife in Enfield Chase, and just behind that is the London Loop symbols. So yeah, we are technically in Enfield Chase, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So I've got about another 4.5k to go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack on with this, make up the distance, and when I get to Trent Park we'll do another update, and there I will be ending my hike. I'm also meeting a mate after this for a drink, so I thought why not. I'm still going to be having a drink when I finish the hike. Then because it's the weekend, I'm going to go out and have a couple of drinks and relax. Tomorrow it's a relaxing day for me. Tomorrow I'm going to chill, put this video together and work on a few other things, I guess. Yeah, that's that. So, I haven't seen a single human being in the last 45 minutes. Right at the start of this trail at Enfield Chase, there was like a family of hikers and a cyclist. Other than that, not a single person. It's lovely. It's lovely to be out in nature. It's a bit of sound pollution from all the traffic from the M25, but other than that, it's absolutely peaceful. The sound of nature, crickets, small insects. This is why I do hikes like this. It's just good for your mental health, especially with a career like teaching. You are literally pushed to your limits every single day. You barely have enough time to rest when you get home. The only time you ever get to rest is the holidays or the weekends, but you spend that time just catching up with life. So when you do actually get time off work, like some holidays, you just need to relax. For some people that is sitting home doing nothing. For others it's going on holiday. For me it is being out in the nature, exploring and going on little adventures every day. Yeah, that's just how I live my life, I guess. It is what it is. Okay, for the last 45 minutes to an hour I've been walking in an open field, a lovely path though, but it was way too hot. Now we're finally in Woodlands, walking through a bit of shade. I'm hearing a lot of shots in the background. Not to worry, there's a couple of clay discs, firing zones, whatever they're called, when they actually shoot clay discs, clay tiles. I don't know much about shooting, so that's what's happening in the near distance. So I've been hearing a few sort of gunshots in the air, but it's nothing to worry about. Yeah, coming up to the last 3.5k, heading towards Trent Park, then Cockfosters afterwards. So I'm going to be leaving the Enfield Chase Woodland Restoration. It's one of the best things in this section, actually, best areas to walk in, absolutely quiet. I'm going to cross over Hadley Road and cross into Trent Park. So yeah, let's do that. Now, crossing over Hadley Road was a bit of a trek because it was a bit of a sharp corner. I couldn't really see what was coming. I have to keep, like, you know, listen to it really carefully. Now we crossed over, we are on the other side. We're in Trent Park. There's loads of different routes I could take, but I'm going to stick to the actual official London Loop route. I feel like when I planned it, I've imported someone else's GPX plan, so that's slightly different to what the signs are saying. So I'm going to stick to my original plan as much as possible, I guess. I mean, we're on the last 3.5k, 2k, I don't even know how long we got left. We're in Trent Park. We're going to end at the other side of Trent Park, so it can't be that far. Yeah, let's carry on. All right, last 1.5k to go. I am right in the middle of Trent Park right now. So section 17 it's an amazing section, actually. It's incredibly quiet, no one's there to bother you. A lovely gravel and pebble path, walking through open fields, woodlands. In fact, it's one of the best sections I've done so far. I'm literally going to walk to the end of Trent Park, celebrate completing day 3 of London Loop with a beer, and then head back to Cockfosters and meet some friends and grab a couple of drinks. So that's the plan. Last stretch, guys, let's go. Alright guys, I am literally just under 500 meters away from Cockfosters station. So I've reached the end of my hike, or practically I am here. So to summarize, sections 17 and 18 are absolutely beautiful, no complaints at all. I've completed my day 3 of London Loop. I'm taking a break for the next couple of days, and next week, Tuesday I believe, I'm doing London Loop day 4, where I'm going to be doing 2 of the longest sections, 16 and 15, that is from Cockfosters to Elstree, then from Elstree to Hatch End, almost 30k, the longest one so far. In typical Troy fashion, cheers everyone, it's been a wonderful walk. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Alright, we're finally here at Cockfosters station.